Hey everyone, Paul here again from Legacy Lumber, Canadian Woodworks. Behind me, I have a Woodmizer LT40. This is a 1992. I get questioned very often. Sounds like it's like questioned by the police, but it's not actually that. A lot of people have a sawmill like this. A lot of people may want to get into sawmilling, and it's a little bit more affordable to get an older sawmill. Totally get it. That's exactly what I did. What I get asked a lot is, how does it work with the extension that you did? Would you do you regret doing it? Would you do anything different? I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of what I did here to extend my Woodmizer from a maximum cut of 28 inches all the way up to 42 inches. And then we'll give you a few cuts. We'll give you a full length cut, all the sound, no commentary, no nothing. You can see exactly how it operates. I have a 20 horsepower electric motor, which replaced the original 26 horsepower gas Onan motor that was on the mill. We're running an 1.5 inch wide blade, 55 thou in thickness, and just a standard 10-degree blade. In fact, I just cut a white oak log with this blade. It was a big one, 34, 36 diameter. I did actually hit metal on my second last cut, sharpened this blade, finished it off. I cut the metal out. I did one cut on that log, and now I've done a couple cuts on this log. So I'm gonna go ahead, give you some detailed shots of what's going on here, and then we're going to actually cut with this thing. So I have 42 inches between the blade guide here and here, and as you see, we are just squeezing through. We really just have an inch or two over here, and we're pretty much maxed on this size. So the cuts that you're going to see following this little rundown are basically maxing it out. This is the 20 horsepower electric motor. It's a 600 volt 3-phase, and we run it off a VFD, and I use the standard kind of lifting arm. So the motor is running all the time, and then I pull the handle up, engages the blade full speed. What have I done? What have I done? We've cut the sawmill here. I do have a video talking about, unfortunately, what I've done because my YouTube channel, all my videos got erased. I didn't have a backup. I'll still try to find it. But my original video that I had of actually doing the work of cutting this is gone. I apologize. But it's pretty simple what I did. I actually used this tractor. We put a skid on it here. We put the skid underneath the sawmill. We kind of like strapped it to the skid. And then we actually just cut this with a zip disc. Pretty large one to be able to get through the thickness. Boom, we cut it. From there, I was able to measure the inside of the tube and find like a maximum length because I wanted it to be able to slide this back to stock length as well as go out to an extended mode. I bought the sawmill. I had a lot of blades with it that were stock length, and I just figured I'd do a lot of stock length milling. Very happy I did do that because those blades are very inexpensive, shorter blade of course, and very, very quick to sharpen. So I had a piece of aluminum, you can see here, which was machined down the thickness as well as the height wise, and I got a slight chamfers here on all the edges, bottom edge, top edge, because you know it's kind of crude inside this tube. From there, I got a blade from Woodmizer that was 184 inches. I just figured that would be the length that I'd be able to go out to. And what I did was, let me think here. We would have bolted the insert to this side, knowing how much insert I could have to be able to push it all the way back in. We then put this side into it, then put this blade on, pulled it out as far as we could, and with no tension. Then that's when we drilled our holes. So that way I knew I could get a blade on not under tension. We drilled the holes, we put the bolts in, and from there I've just always tensioned the blade. Occasionally I have to adjust the truing or the angle, I guess, of the driven wheel, but we're talking a counterclockwise turn of the turny thing. I don't know what it's called. You guys let me know in the comments. So far it's been fantastic. I'd like to say this is like 5 years, 7 years, more than 5 years, definitely more than even 8 years in, 9 years possibly. I've had this set up. Some people were saying that, you know, the aluminum against the steel, not a good idea. It's gonna like evaporate or fuse together or something like that. I used to put lube on it in and out. Haven't done that in a long time. And to take it in and out, you just have to pop these two bolts out, pull them out, slide them all the way in, and then put the bolts back in. So for the stock length blade, we just slid it all the way in and drilled our holes and then put our bolts in, put your blade on, you're good to go. All right, I'm gonna give you some action. This is some lovely walnut. It's actually heavily figured throughout the log Fortunately, she's got a little hole in it, but I really can't complain. It's a pretty clean log. So we'll go ahead, we'll keep on slicing. And this was the white oak log that I've already cut with this blade. Like I said, I hit metal in it. You can see here, this is actually the chunk close to the end, pretty gray. I couldn't even cut through it. So I just cut about 6 inches off. And from there I was able to sharpen the blade, which I just did. And I've taken waste cut and made 2 slabs so far. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna cut up the rest of this log.